Hello everyone. Welcome back to the next training session of the SHL Technical Support Team. Today's content we want to introduce to everyone about industrial oil. The presentation content includes the following parts: elements of lubricant, brief of industrial oil, and finally a detailed introduction of each type of industrial oil. First, we learn about elements of lubricant. Lubricant have two main components, which are base oil and additives. The American Petroleum Institute classifies base oils into two main types: mineral base oil and synthetic base oil. Mineral base oils are divided into three types. Group 1 base oils with sulfur content above 0.03% and viscosity index from 80 to 120. Group 2 and Group 3 base oils have sulfur content below 0.03% of viscosity index higher than 120. Synthetic base oils are classified into Group IV and Group V, having more specificity and specific outstanding advantages than mineral base oils, but their functions are not as diverse as. About additive composition: depending on the type of industrial oil, it is mixed with different types of additives. For example, some common additives such as antioxidant prevents oxidation of the oil by oxygen in air and prevents sludge formation. Viscosity index improver reduces viscosity change with temperature. Oilness improver reduces friction coefficient by forming oil film on metal surface. Extreme pressure additives in the event of contact between the metals as the oil film becomes weaker under high load. In addition, we also have rust inhibitor to prevent materials, equipment exposed to oxygen, humid air causing rust problems. Anti-foaming agent to rapid removal and suppression of bubbles generated during the process. Next we come to brief of industrial oil. Industrial oils include the following main oils: hydraulic oil, gear oil, heat transfer oil, slideway oil, turbine oil, spindle oil, machine oil, compressor oil, and finally vacuum pump oil. In hydraulic oil, it is classified into several subtypes based on additive composition and intended use, such as anti-wear, high viscosity index. In addition, gear oil, heat transfer oil and compressor oil include two main types: mineral base and synthetic base. Next we will go into details of each type to better understand how each oil works and its function. First, about hydraulic oil, we will learn about the mechanism of the hydraulic system. The principle of hydraulic system is based on Pascal's law. Need a large force to industrial equipment such as heavy machinery. Used excavator hydraulics apply the same principle as above. The hydraulic fluid that transfers the energy generated from the power source to the drive unit, hydraulic motor, cylinder, of the plant is called hydraulic oil. Hydraulic oil includes base oil and additives. The quality and performance of a hydraulic fluid depend on the quality of the base fluid and the combination of the additives or additive systems used. Depending on base oil and the types of additive ultimately decide the classification of hydraulic oil. Regarding mineral base oils, hydraulic oils include types such as general type, applicable to hydraulic oil of General Hydraulics, gear oil of medium, low load, General Machine Oil. Anti-wear type is anti-wear performance than General Hydraulic Oil. Viscosity improver, free zinc type for special purpose zinc-plated materials, equipment and servo value for dust-sensitive products and processes requiring cleanliness and high purity. As for synthetic base oils, there are two main types: polyester and water glycol-based fire retardant hydraulic oils, specialized for systems requiring high fire resistance, flammable systems, operating in high temperature. Regarding the management and maintenance of oil, hydraulic oil needs to ensure the following factors. The first is viscosity. Oil viscosity is managed around 10% of the change compared to new oil, because if the device is operated without proper viscosity, it may cause poor pump suction, internal leakage, poor lubrication, shortening the service life of the device and causing accidents. The second is about total acid number, below under 1 mg kali hydroxide, GAM, which is an index to indirectly confirm oxidation, degradation of operating oil. If the total acid number are increased, can be judged that the use oil is degradation or oxidized, which compared to fresh oil. Next, about water content. The water content must be managed below 500 ppm, because if the oil is contaminated with a high amount of water, it will corrode the hydraulic equipment, causing poor lubrication and accelerated degradation, oxidation of oil. Finally, we must manage the millipore, below 50 mg, 100 ml. It is an index to check the amount of solid matter in the hydraulic oil. If solid particles are present, pump wear, filter clogging, valve malfunction may occur. The next oil we want to introduce is gear oil. Gear oil are a particularly important component for gears and transmissions. During operation, the lubricant comes into contact with most other parts of the machinery. In addition to the important function of lubricating, the oil also performs the function of cooling and removing the frictional heat. There are two main types of gear oil: the basic gear oil series and the series of anti-wear gear oils for large, high-load gears that require the addition of anti-wear additives to ensure quality of gears during operation. Regarding oil management, like hydraulic oil, gear oil also needs to be managed in terms of viscosity with more than 20% compared to new oil, acid content with less than 1 mg kali hydroxide, GAM, water content less than 500 ppm, and the insoluble matter is less than 1%. Above are the first contents of industrial oil that we want to introduce to you in today's session. The next session we will continue to explore the remaining contents of this chapter. Thank you all for listening. If you have any questions or concerns, you can contact SHL Technical Support Team via the email below. Thank you and see you again.